Hello, Reborn family, and welcome back. So, a long time no talk. I know I've made a couple of videos introducing new babies. I should have put Andy's on there and Eli's, but I didn't do it. So, I might do that later on. I don't know. Would that be silly after you've already seen them? Anyway, this is Andy. Oh, sorry. His name is Andrew Levi, and I got him from Cloud9's Reborn Nursery, and my Sweet Cupcake Nursery is the one who painted him. And I am thrilled. I mean, thrilled to have him. I never dreamed I would ever have a Levi. I'm just going to be honest there. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. But Teresa is very, very loved. Oh, this is silly crying over a doll. A lot of things have been going on in my life since I last really talked to you, not just a box opening or whatever. Back in November, I said I was going to start making regular videos, and I didn't do it, and there's a reason why. I went to my daughter's in Tulsa for a week or so. I can't remember how long I was there. But after that, I flew to Georgia and spent time with my kids in Georgia, and ended up getting really sick in December. I think I went to the doctor on December 27th, and they did a test for the flu and a test for COVID-19, and it tested positive for COVID-19. In my humble opinion, he should have taken an x-ray right then and there, but he didn't, because I didn't have insurance, and I'm almost positive that's why. But he put me on a Z-Pak and steroids and sent me on my way. Also, he gave me cough medicine. A week later, I was worse. So I went back to the doctor. He put me on hydrochloroquine and another round of steroids and sent me home. Well, I think it was another week. It may have not been quite a week later that I had to go back, because I was just getting worse and worse. It was hard to breathe. It hurt to breathe. It felt like glass was in my chest, and that is honest to goodness how it felt. And my throat was so dry, like it felt like it was sticking together, and I still kind of have that problem. He said, there's no other choice. We have to put you in the hospital. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I went to the hospital that day, and they admitted me. I was in the ER for quite a while before they got me into a room. I guess they were getting me stable, because when I got there, I was in respiratory failure. So things were going bad quick. And I knew it. I knew that they were. But, you kind of, I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I should have probably just gone to the ER in the first place. But they got me into a room, and they talked to me, and they were going to start me on a infusion. It was an antibody infusion, and also put me on IV antibiotics. And so they couldn't put them in the same arm, so I had to have one in one arm and the other in the other arm. And my veins are terrible, so that was fun. But they managed to do it, and it was okay. I was on the infusion for 6 days. I don't think they got the infusion till the day after. So I was in the hospital a total of 7 days. And I felt a lot better by the time I got home, by the time I left, but not great. And I knew I was going to have to follow up with a doctor, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to afford to keep going to the doctor because I didn't have insurance. And I do have Medicaid here in Missouri. So I came back to Missouri. I'm gonna lay Levi down because, or Andy down because my arm is hurting. But so I came back here and I got a great nurse practitioner. She works in the same practice that the doctor that I went to when I was a kid. He worked in there. He was there too. As a matter of fact, he delivered my baby brother, whose birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Bubba. Anyway, she got me into a bunch of different doctors and specialists and everything. I have a cardiologist, and they did a echocardiogram, and I have what he calls, oh gosh, something COVID syndrome. I don't know if it was prolonged COVID syndrome. I can't remember what he said it was. But they had a hard time finding or getting a good picture of my heart, so he wasn't really sure what was going on. So they did a heart monitor I had to wear for a week, and it showed that I have tachycardia, posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS for short, which my kids loved. Luke loves that because, of course, Luke is a goofball. Tammy, if you watch this, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so they got me, a diagnosis sort of, and then my doctor had me do a sleep study because of stuff that was happening when I had the heart monitor on overnight. And the sleep study showed that my oxygen was dropping in the middle of the night, pretty low, which I've had oxygen since January, and June was when it was going to be up and I was going to be able to turn it back in and not have to have oxygen anymore. But that didn't happen because I'm still having problems breathing, mostly at night. But if I talk very much like I'm going to be doing, or like I'm doing right now, I get out of breath really fast, which is why I stop and take a deep breath through my nose for a second sometimes. But, what else? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have an MRI done on Tuesday. So keep me in your prayers about that. And they're checking to see if I have another brain tumor, which I'm praying I don't, but the headaches that I'm having are extremely severe. And migraine medicine doesn't touch it at all. Nothing I take helps my headache. So hopefully we figure that out too. But I'm going to try very, very hard to start making at least one video a month and or a week, not a month, one video a week, and keep you caught up on where I am and how I'm doing. I might be going to visit my daughter in Tulsa next weekend, not this weekend. We'll just see. It depends on what the MRI shows. So I should know pretty quick. If it's a tumor, I'll know pretty quick because I did before. So we'll just see. Pray that it's not and that it's something else that they can figure out. Because I don't want it to be that. But you want to know what's going on and how to cure it or fix it. So anyway, that's my story. I wanted to go into an Edith Ann voice, but I didn't. I don't know. I keep saying I'm really out of practice with this, but I will try to get better and do better. This is a new phone too, and so I had videoed it in the other room, but the birds were too loud and the oxygen machine was too loud and you couldn't hear me. So I redid it. I think this is the third time, but it's just because of sound issues. Now I'm using my headphones to try to make it better. Hopefully it works. But here, we'll do this because I'm going to go for now. But as always, lots of love and big hugs.